biggest problem in the Muslim world was a confusion of knowledge. And he said the confusion and error in knowledge created a condition for what he called the loss of adab within the community. And that condition arising out of 1 and 2, the confusion and error in knowledge and then the loss of adab, has led to a rise of leaders who are not qualified for valid leadership of the Muslim community and who do not possess the high moral, intellectual, and spiritual standards required for Islamic leadership. So he makes an argument that it's really a confusion of knowledge. And I think one of the things that you and I share is trying to restore knowledge as a basis for as a starting point, really. And so I know that you have the university that you've been working on in Pakistan, among other amazing things. I mean, I've followed some of your political career, and I think like the reforestation project is a really interesting project, trying to bring back the trees that have been lost. Ibn Khaldun mentions that when the Arabs went across from across Africa, he said that a squirrel could literally go from Egypt to Morocco without touching the ground because there were so many trees. So we've seen a real loss of that. But I'm curious just how you see the centrality of knowledge and restoring that as part of this restoration of civilizational pride for a community.
You're right about, when you have total divorce from the sacred and you just operate on the material, and which is basically what is happening. And then with the problems because of that, for instance, this big environmental disaster in the world, which is called climate change, is purely because human beings have moved so far away from the sacred. And sacred basically means being humane, thinking about others. It means, the saying of a prophet, peace be upon him, that you live for the next world as if you'll die tomorrow, for the next world. So your deeds should be such that if you die tomorrow, you can stand in front of the Almighty and be held accountable. But live in this world as if you will live for 1,000 years. So whatever you're doing right now, you should think the repercussions it will have on humanity for another 1,000 years. So it's one of the greatest statements, about, it just completely envelopes everything about environment, about how we should be treating the way we live on this earth. So that also, I believe this whole environmental movement is sacred. Wherever you think about other human beings, you are, because God, whatever you do for God's, if you want to get close to the Almighty, you have to be humane. So what I find, unfortunately, basically the leadership that comes up through this political system, they just are too divorced from Iman, from tenets of their faith. And so basically they come in for power and then they compromise for staying in power, and power is for personal benefits. And it's all over really. Most of the politicians, very few politicians I find come with a specific objective of looking after humanity. Their main objective is the benefits of power, and most of the developing world, it is coming into power for self-interest, how much money they can make. So unfortunately, there are very few Mandelas, someone who came in for a higher cause. And our great leader, Jinnah, who was the founder of Pakistan, someone like him who, came in and sacrificed himself for this great cause. Which is why politicians are looked down upon in the world, because they say they're coming to help the people and they really help themselves.